All right, for the vocabulary, we have 7 words. First word is destigmatize. The base word is stigma, right? Stigma is kind of like a mood, atmosphere, attitude, or previous thought about something, right? The example talks about a house husband, a stay-at-home dad. Maybe there's a stigma about that, right? Like maybe he couldn't get a job, or maybe she's like got a really strong personality and he's a weak man. There's some kind of stigma about it, right? So destigmatize, D means to like undo something, right? So to take away that stigma, right? So she fights to destigmatize house husbands all over the world, right? Like don't judge them, by being at home, okay? Number 2, stereotype. I think we all know this word, right? Like there's a stereotype about Americans. We're all loud and we do whatever we want, right? Number 3, undervalue. To kind of rate something lower or not appreciate it, right? So maybe many families undervalue their mother, right? She's doing lots of work at home. She's taking care of everybody. She plans all the birthday parties for the kids. She remembers to buy presents for the other family members and cousins and grandpa and grandma. She does so many things, but people don't say thank you enough. They don't realize how important she is, right? That's a classic example of undervalue. Next, broad ranging. So it can go all over the place, broad ranging. The boss expects us to do a broad ranging research about the company's new product. So not just about if it's a good product. They'll do broad range research. Is it going to succeed with young people, old people, foreigners, or only local people? Can it go to other markets in other countries? And yeah, all kinds of different researches, right? Next, overburden. First, let's talk about burden, okay? Burden is some kind of job or duty that you have to do, kind of like extra work or stress, right? Like I'm burdened because, how about we say, I'm burdened with the task of cleaning this classroom after every class, right? That's my burden, right? And I'm overburdened because all of my students leave their trash in here, right? Students can be overburdened, right? They have science homework, history homework, they go to academies after class, and then they have to study for a test, and they have to clean their room, and they have to do too many things, so they're overburdened, okay? So, right. Another example of that, like I did work at Academy about 4 years ago, and the secretary was overburdened. She did a good job, but she was always working really hard. Then after about 1 year, she quit or left to a different job, and they hired 2 secretaries to replace her because she was so overburdened and she worked so hard, right? Next, employee retention. Employee, as we know, is a worker. Retention is to keep something, right? So it's the ability to keep your employees, right? If you go to a job and there are, let's say, 10 workers and all 10 have been there only a few months, that is bad, right? That means people are leaving quickly, right? So that company has low retention, right? So the employee retention is a good sign of whether or not a company is good, right? Number 7, call to action. Okay, it's kind of like a cheer or like a proclamation, a public official way to say, let's do something, right? So the video we watched, Anne Hathaway, she's doing a call to action, right? Or she's calling everybody, right? I challenge all the companies in the world to do this, right? And to do that. Okay, to think about how we judge men at home and to think about how we value our women, right? She's kind of giving everybody a challenge. So that's what it is, right? Any questions about these words? Um, that's making people go back to their country, right? So let's say I moved to Korea. I have 3 children here in school, and I live here for 15 years. But I move everybody go. We go back to the USA, right? That's repatriation. By the way, patriot is kind of like a person who loves their country and they fight for their country, right? So it's kind of a person about their country, right? So we have a few famous patriots in American history that fought for the USA's independence and other things, right? So repatriate is right to go back and become a person of your country, right? So in this sentence, it's bad because the refugees leave North Korea, and to make them go back, if China says go back to North Korea, right, that's a bad thing because now they will go to a camp and work all their life, right?